All right, folks, we're going to play a little perspective here. This is a game by...
has never been more connected. No matter how niche your interests may be, a community of like-minded individuals is almost always just a few taps away.
Like the Thinky Games community, I've made exactly that same joke in my main playthrough of this game. But yeah, so this is a little perspective, and it's by Tad Caudle, who made Sensorium, which is a very cool game. And it is a perspective shifting isometric game, and you'll see how the perspective shifting gets very interesting. And thanks to the developer for the key.
Impossible is easier than ever. With just a little bit of initiative, you can find people you understand and people who understand you.
See what I'm doing? I'm rotating things so they line up from this perspective, a little perspective, and things line up, and then I can roll between them. And this game does a really good job of like making that feel systemic. It's not just like completely random. It's like, no, there's a logic behind like when you can roll from one platform to another and so on. It becomes more and more apparent as you go through, and then like weird things happen if you like go over here and you're like, oh, let's go, like, oh gosh, I can't go there because like that's a wall, but like it actually makes sense. You spend time with the game, you're like, okay, that does actually make sense, even though like, what, there's no wall there. And you'll see a weird thing there where if I try and roll behind this thing, there's definitely floor there, right? But then when I roll and I come back a bit, you can see there's like no floor there. There's logic behind that too. There's logic behind all of it. Let's go to this level over here.
I want to tell you about a man named Fitch. Fitch's life was more or less typical. He had just started college, was coasting through with decent enough grades, and was on track for a safe engineering career in a few years. But Fitch's true passion was music.
I don't know if I just skipped Fitch's thing.
Favorite music, though, wasn't the kind of music you'd hear on the radio or talk about with your coworkers. It wasn't bad, but calling it an acquired taste would be an understatement.
So we have a slightly funky thing here, right? Because like I've gone to the end of this platform and I've rotated around, but now I'm like behind this one, so I actually can't go anywhere. But if I roll back, so that visually, like this is the cool thing, it's like visually those are connected now. And so now I can roll that way. And then we're gonna have a similar thing. Yeah, we're gonna have a similar thing here. So it's all about like how it looks visually. If it, from this perspective, it looks like I could roll there, I can roll there. And that might help you understand why in that, oh gosh, how do I actually get there? I need to be on that bit. I see, so let's go across to here. There we go. It might help understand something from before.
The music was highly structured, mathematical in nature, but in a way that only a hardcore music theorist would pick up on. Though there was a predictable pattern at its core, it sounded chaotic and jumbled to most.
So the sneaky trick here is it's like, well, clearly I've got to follow this around. It's like getting darker to lighter. So you're like, oh, I'll go like this, I'll come along here. But you eventually get stuck at this bit where you can't go up that ledge. So instead, I'm going to do this. And so you might also be thinking, if you've played games like this before, like are these puzzles very susceptible to being like quite searchy? Like you've got to just spin it until you see the right direction and then you just follow that direction. I think earlier on, to some degree that's true, but later on there's more and more mechanics that make it a bit more like about the logic.
The problem-solving part of his brain began to ask, what could be done to make it more accessible?
So here we've got a new mechanic, which is that block will move once it gets to 0. So we have a kind of move counter, but it's like integrated into the puzzle in some way. So we've got to get to the thing, but clearly if we try and roll there without doing anything interesting, that happens. So we're going to climb onto this kind of plant thing that's here, I guess, and maybe it'll help us get there quicker. Maybe there's a better thing to do than that. Oh, then we can get onto this one. And then does that line up with... It lines up with that. That's not what I want. I mean, I could get on top of that, which is fun, but I don't want to be here. Maybe that's not all right what I do. Oh, okay, so just from that one, I could have rotated to be next to it. Cool.
Fitch took a stab at writing his own music. His early attempts fell victim to the genre's typical shortcomings. But within his experiments, he could see potential that he hadn't seen before. He decided to reach out to others for feedback.
So there's a thing here that I just demonstrated, which is if you... Let me try and do it again. So if I stand here and then I rotate so that I'm not visible anymore, the music kind of like goes away. It's because I'm not there anymore. I'm dead. It'd actually be kind of fun if after rotating there, I'm literally gone. But I guess that's not how the mechanics work. The things are still there on rotating. It's just they're not interactive when they're not visible. But okay, so I need to get to the exit here in 12 because those things are all going to move. Can't quite, like, it's the same as a previous level, but the long way around is slow. So we need to find a faster way of doing it, which I believe does involve going to here. Then what? I mean, that does put me further along this. So I can sort of skip out a lot of the route. Yeah, I think that's the idea. There we go. Then get here, and we're going to be next to the thing. Yay!
Fitch hopped on the first music forum he could find and fired off a message with a link to his demos. "I've been working on some music," he wrote. "I know there's room for improvement, but I'm not sure where to go with it. Is anyone interested in this style?" That summer, Fitch met Jan.
Got quite a lot, I guess. I think there's some way over here. Yeah, like I can sort of remember the answers because I've been playing it. Although, actually... 2 to get there. I can get on top of it. That's not what I wanted, though. Let's try that again. Is there anything quicker I can do at the start? Oh, I can get onto there immediately, which must be on this bit. That's good. Is there then something I can do better with this? I think get on here and rotate to here. Then get on here. 8 left. Is that enough? It is. Whew. I think it's possible to do that in fewer moves. I think I've got an achievement for doing that in my main playthrough. There are of course secrets around as well, so that's like the first world's like main puzzles. And you get to this hub area where there's these different directions to go, and there's these like level completion counters floating above here, which I've not actually filled in any of them in my main playthrough yet. But it opens up this way. But yeah, if we go back to the previous section, over here, there's like, if we look around, you can see a level back there. And so I did figure out to get to that one, but it requires, yeah, like, I don't know, like finding how to align things up to cross across multiple platforms to get there, and it's pretty tricky. This is funny, so I can't currently move, and so this might be the kind of thing where you're like, well, why not? Like, there's clearly floor there, but like, is there clearly floor there? Like, what's the floor that I'm rolling onto in this situation? I mean, that's the thing to be asking, and that's the same reason why I can't do this. Because, I mean, I'll leave that as an exercise to the viewer or the player if you play the game yourself. Let's just check out the next area a little bit and then we'll move on, because the good thing with showing a game that I've played before, or played a little bit of before, is that I can kind of give you a quick look at it and not show too much and know when to stop. So...
Jan's message was a welcome surprise.
Yep.
He too was in search of collaborators looking to push the genre forward.
So this one begins with us behind this post. So we have to become alive first, and then we have to figure out how to avoid getting stuck behind the posts. I think at some point you do something sneaky. Oh gosh. So that's funny, like visually that's a wall that's next to me, so I guess I'm pushing it. But not if I go... No, if I go back, that still works as well, yeah, because there is a floor there. Okay, roll past this. I think it's basically impossible to get past this gate, right? Because here I'm dead, here I'm dead. Here I can't roll there because I can't see the floor. So it's impossible to get past that gate, so there must be something else I can do. And that thing is, I believe, roll onto the top of this, like that. Maybe? Or maybe I'm supposed to do it a different one. Or is there somewhere I can go from here? Not really. I think it was a different one. Oh yeah, I see which one it is. It's you. Okay, so we get down from here, which I do like this. Sometimes it's really hard to see what the thing is. So where do you line up to? Here? Cool, we're on that one. It connects to there. Press the button, and then we'll take the same way back. Which I think doesn't always work. Yeah, like moves in this game are not bi-directional.
Despite obvious obstacles, Fitch and Jan having just met, knowing nothing about each other,
There's 3 buttons to press here.
7 time zones apart, their common ground on such an unknown subject made striking the conversation effortless. The world has never been more connected.
So funny when you like try and roll a certain way, but you actually end up rolling onto like this thing instead of where you wanted to roll. So that's fine. Okay, then we roll back. So yeah, this second world is mostly about like these switches and the moving blocks, and then the third world, guess what, folks? It goes sokoban, and it does very interesting things with it. So I'm actually going to leave that there. You've got a sense of what the game is like. Perspective shifting things, secrets hidden in the world that you've got to figure out to get to. Like I'm climbing up this thing without like having to climb because we can just make it line up nicely. Then we can just roll all the way back down again. But yeah, and then it adds in, each like world adds in new mechanics that I think, yeah, like pushes it more in a more kind of logic direction than just like a maze-like direction, which is cool. So yeah, that's a little perspective. I'm having a good time with it. Go check it out. It's available on Windows, macOS, and Linux, and was released very recently, 3rd of April, apparently, according to the information I have here. Cool.